Alrighty, so today I want to talk about the Dragon Ball Heroes team, and more specifically, I kind of want to get into a team building guide where we talk about the Dragon Ball Heroes team and sort of try and set you guys up for success with these characters. Now, why is this going to be difficult? There's multiple factors. Right now, the first one is we do not have the summonable characters that are coming out soon in the data download yet. I'm recording this at 6:30 on November 5th, so even the EZA banner isn't live yet, but that is what is going to be dropping tonight, so that's why I wanted to make a video for it. So we do not have information on what the characters are going to be. I think maybe tomorrow, like tomorrow's video, so for the 7th, you guys, I'll address whether or not you should summon on these banners. But if you are someone that is planning to summon on these banners, let's go ahead and get into that today. We are going to be doing a team building guide for what you want to do if you have some of these characters. Now, this is my second take of this, but if like I'm gonna rip the band-aid off now, if you're like a new player and you don't have any heroes characters, this is going to be an extremely tough situation for you to build a team in like 100 stones, right? It's just probably not realistic, and there's going to be some characters that are missing on that specific banner for like the EZA banner, right? Let me pull up last year's just to give you an example of where we're at. Okay, so I now have it pulled up, and here is what we are going to be looking at, right? This is going to be a banner with 8 featured characters, and if we press the unfeatured, you guys can see the lineup. But what are we going to be seeing this year on this specific lineup? Now, the featured characters are going to be the whole row of the EZA characters that we are discussing. So if we just go down the list, you guys can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, right? So, or wherever the 8th EZA is, 8 up here, right, with Mechi Kabura. That is going to be what the EZA lineup is. So it's like, this is going to be Super Saiyan Goku, this is going to be Super Saiyan Vegeta, this is going to be Mechi Kabura, right? This is going to be Xenopan, God Trunks. Who are the other EZAs on this list, right? I'm having a hard time with this, but Gohanks, Vegeks, and then Gotenks, right? So all those characters are going to be on here for summoning on that. Now, the best leader you're going to want to have for this specific team is going to be God Trunks, right? Hopefully his EZA is in the data here and we can look at it, but he is going to become a Dragon Ball Heroes 180% lead. We have the translations here, right? This is going to be an extremely good leader skill for this specific setup. Now, this is also assuming that the characters from last year's, like the previous Dokkan, or not Dokkan Fest, but the previous characters are going to be there, right? So it's like Limit Breaker 4 Vegeta will probably be on this banner and stuff like that. So overall, I don't think this is a horrible banner to summon on, but you do have to keep in mind that it is going to not be as good as the main summonable banner, right? But if you are somebody that just can't wait, you can go ahead and summon on this banner, and that is what we are going to be looking like, right? So based on the featured lineup this year, I think a really good team that you're going to want to go with to start for these specific banners, let's just say like you're only pulling on this banner, I think a good setup is you're going to want to have God Trunks, right? And if we pull up God Trunks and we look at some of the leader or some of the linking units that we're going to have, we're going to stay away from like non-heroes characters, but like if you pull Super Saiyan Rose 3 Goku Black on there and stuff like that, I think that's a good character to link up with this guy. Really, any of like the God Key focused units I think could work out really well for you, right? Like any of the characters that fit in under the God Key sort of mold, right? It's kind of tough just to tell by looking at these, because Heroes does like a really funky job of doing it. But like time traveling characters, which is all of these, like these characters are going to be sharing 3 to 4 links, and it's going to work out just fine, right? You want to run something like not God Pan, but Xenopan, right? She is a phenomenal EZA in terms of like the support that she's doing. Defensively, she's going to work out pretty well for you. I think she could fit on the team just fine. And then if you pull both of these Super Saiyan 3 characters, I think that's going to be a fine rotation, as well as the Super Saiyan characters from the Goku and Vegeta, right? The Dokkan Awakenings for base Goku, base Vegeta, these 2 characters right here. I think they could potentially work out as a rotation themselves. And with those EZAs, I think that's going to be like the most modern version of that team. Now, let's just say you want to go for like a Super Saiyan 4 focused version of the team, right? So what I would like to do, if you told me like build a Super Saiyan 4 setup for heroes, right? The first thing I'm doing is I'm putting this character right here, Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, in my leader slot. And then his linking partner is going to be physical EZA or Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, right? Now, I'm pretty sure like both Super Saiyan 4 Vegitos, that's a pretty self-explanatory rotation, and that is what you're going to want to work with. Now, when it comes to the other characters, we can kind of mix and match the way that we want to go. If you want to run the other Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s as a rotation, you can 100% do that. If you want to bring Super Saiyan 4 Broly Limit Breaker, that can work out well as well. We have Super Saiyan 4 Bardock down here. We have Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, right? Super Saiyan 4 Broly's EZA right down here. there's a ton of Super Saiyan 4 that's going to work out very well with this team. And if you want, you can even run Super Saiyan 4 Vegito as the leader skill, right? And he's also going to give you access to Giant Ape power. So what you're going to be able to do is potentially run the buffed 4-year anniversary LRs. You can run LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the Int one. You could run the physical Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta character, right? Anything that you need to slide in to make it work, you can potentially do that, right? So, like, what I'd recommend that you do is kind of like the bigger picture thing. If you don't have all of the characters in like a that are going to work with like perfect synergy, you just want to make sure that you have like one of the primary leaders for the team, right? I think God Trunks is a really good leader to have, right? He's going to be at 180%. This version of Vegito is going to be fine. If you have Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, that's just the base. He's a crossover 180, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to be a crossover lead no matter what. I just forget the percentage. I'm pretty sure it's 180, so he's going to work out pretty well. It's just you're going to be getting a little bit less ki than you would with Trunks because he's got Trunks is ki +4, and that's obviously going to be extremely helpful for us. But as long as you can kind of just mash these characters together, it should work pretty well. That's the beauty of the Heroes team, right? When we go into like these limited squads, it's always going to kind of work out that way, that they have decent synergy together, and the kits are going to be intertwined very well, and these things are just going to work out very, very well, right? The EZA for Toa is decent. We have the Dokkan Awakening for the female warrior in black. She is going to be a good character as well. The Janemba Dokkan Awakening, he's decent. Like, there's decency across the board on this team, right? It's just when it comes to like modern 9th anniversary level content and like worldwide download celebration content, it's going to be tough to see how this team, especially like the version that we have right now before the banners come out with like, you know, Universal Goku and Eos and however you say it, and Demigra and all them, Future Gohan, not Future Gohan, the Saiyan in black and stuff like that. It's going to be really tricky to sort of like put the nose on it to see like how these teams are going to go, right? But at least you know with this banner being with like unfeatured, if you are going to throw some stones at it, there's a good chance that you're going to be able to pull something that you're missing, especially if you were a newer player, right? There's a lot of highly valuable characters in terms of this team. If you want to talk about somebody that's not underrated but really good, this character right here, this is Dark Mask King. This character has a really unique mechanic that not many characters have because of how broken it is, and that is what is known as the lifesteal mechanic. Now, if you guys don't know, the lifesteal mechanic is going to be whatever damage you deal, you're going to get a percentage of it back as your own HP. So recovers 10% damage dealt as HP. So let's just say we do a crit for like 3 million, you're going to be healing for 300,000 on that hit, right? So that is really important. It's going to help you stay alive in other events, and this is going to, or in events, and it's going to work out very well, right? This is a very good defensive character. You have a lot of utility going. This is a very underrated character who kind of goes under the radar in terms of like Heroes characters just because he is not as exciting as some of these other forms, right? Like you look at this art, this is still like one of my favorite SSR arts in the game, and this is a really good character. Well, not a really good character anymore, but that's Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Goku. He's cool, right? Nowhere, like he's way cooler than Dark Mask King, right? I think this character is extremely underrated. I don't feel like enough people talk about him. I think Hearts is very good. He will be featured on this banner, and then all these EZAs will be down here. They will be featured as well, so that is nice. So the unfeatured pool is going to go to stuff like Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Broly, right? We're going to have all the big units from last year's batch, right? If we go, I closed out the banner tab, but if we go to like last year's batch, we're going to be looking at a lot of the stuff like that, right? Like we have this version of Few right here. This Vegeta kind of sucks, or he does suck. Rose will be featured on this. There's just a lot of things that you can do for team building that's going to work out very well, right? So sort of trying to tie the bow on this, I think right now, if you're going to build a team, I would imagine most of you watching this video are only going to have like a certain amount of Heroes units, right? And if you want to know, let me know in the comment section below which characters you have. It'll be a whole lot easier for me to help you out if you kind of have an idea of what you're going to be using, right? If you want to talk about some hidden gem characters, well, maybe not even a hidden gem, but this Super Saiyan 3 Goku is extremely good. This version of Supreme Kai of Time, I can kind of quickly, like, you know, pull her up, and like you'll be able to see pretty quick when the art comes up why people like her. But like, this is a decent support character, right? She works with like God Key units and stuff like that. She's going to be a decent support. This version of Toa as well as an okay support, and she also has reasons that people enjoy that unit, but you know, it is what it is. Robelu, or Robel, however you want to say it, she has a decent like dodge, or she's kind of a character. I know, shout out to Mask Ningen, but like this is a character that sells their runs a lot because of the amount of times that they just they don't dodge, right? This Golden Metal Cooler works out pretty well. He's fun. This Janemba has good utility. So, you know, there's appeal to almost all of these Heroes characters. I think the cutoff for like just dead units, aside from like Xeno Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I would just draw the line like right here, right? Like where my mouse is at, like this is kind of the line, right? A lot of these characters down here haven't like aged the best, right? Even with their easy A's and stuff like that, they're just old. And I can't imagine that super easy A's are coming for those characters. So if you just want to look at the category on Dokkan Info and go to the Dragon Ball Heroes category, you can kind of line it up. But any of the characters that you have like above that line that I'm setting, like right here, right? These are going to be decent characters that you can mix and match together and a team will go very well. The thing you want to find right away is a theme that you want to fit for your team and then put as many characters as you can on that. So there you have it, a team building guide for the Heroes team before the summonable characters come out. If you are summoning on the Easy A banner, if you already did, I hope you had some good luck and you pull characters that you are after. But otherwise, I would go ahead and wait for the regular banner before you start summoning. But that's all I got for you in this one. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of my Dokkan content, and I'll see you all in the next one.